Alright, today I'm going to tell you about stand-up comedy, how to make it in stand-up comedy. I've only been doing it for about 6 or 7 months. More recently, I've taken a hiatus for about 2 or 3 weeks just because I enjoy sleeping at night. And the next slide's going to be coming up. There we go. So stand-up comedy, there's a lot of reasons to do stand-up comedy. It's a great way to relate to people that you don't know. It's a really fun way to, it's fun to just come up with things and those things just make people laugh. And you can also get laid, actually. that happens time to time. Now, there's reasons to avoid doing stand-up comedy as well. First of all, late nights plus day job equals needs improvement on your work eval. Also, the money. No, there's no money in stand-up comedy. There's only like 4 guys making money in stand-up comedy right now, and they all have 1-hour specials on HBO. Also, there's STDs in comedy clubs. Okay. Oh, that's still going. All right. The scatter plot, by the way, I made the scatter plot. This is the red dots represent anybody who does stand-up comedy at an open mic. The blue dots are the guys with 1-hour specials on HBO, and the green dots are your road comics who just, as you can see, there's a pretty even dispersion there. Sorry. All right. Okay, there's a lot of terms that you might come across if you try doing stand-up comedy. I don't have time to go over all of them. Hecklers, they happen. I'll actually talk more about them in a minute. Okay, comedy is a uniquely American tradition, just like jazz. Comedy started out in vaudeville, but at that time people were just kind of trading jokes. There was no real personal thing about jokes. They weren't anyone's intellectual property, really. But in the 1950s, you have people doing their own jokes, and that's when joke thievery comes along. And even the pros have done it. Actually, a lot of people don't think of Robin Williams as a joke thief, but early on, he's a brilliant comic who would just do a small amount of cocaine and take a stage, and whatever came out is what came out, and often it was other people's jokes. Current comedy scene. Right now, there's a kind of a rift between your club comics and your alt comics. The club guys, it's your traditional setup punchline. And that's gone. I also made this graph here. This represents how much fame you have. As when you start out, you're born. Okay, you have fame among your immediate family. Then you do your first open mic, first real comedy club. Then you get a 1-hour HBO special, and it peaks. And up at the top right corner was your death, which will happen if you're like most folks. And then your fame just goes all the way back to 0. Okay, writing your first joke. I got like a second left on this one. Well, get back to me on that one. Now, if I had done my job, I would actually have been a little better on the timing part of this. Even people who don't know anything about comedy will tell you that it's all about timing. And that's something that you can actually improve upon. You can actually overcome your own natural kind of speech patterns. But, okay, your first open mic. You're going to bomb. Everybody bombs. Jerry Seinfeld claims that he didn't bomb his first time, but I think he's lying. And the thing is, like, you're probably going to feel like you're failing, but just keep going. That's how you learn, and just do it again. Okay, now, here's 2 questions you're going to want to answer for every audience member. Number 1, they realize they're asking this question, and that's, is this person funny? The second question, they don't even realize they're asking this, but they do want to know whether or not they like you. That doesn't mean you have to be nice, but that does mean you do have to kind of be likable. Even if you're mean, you have to be like kind of likable, if you know what I mean. If you don't, just don't wear shorts on stage. There's actually a book called that recently came out, and I agree with that. Hecklers. Every situation is different, so there's no one way to deal with them. They will come up. I've only been heckled maybe once or twice that I can think of, but they don't always really know what they're doing. They don't always really know that they're ruining your life. So you don't necessarily have to be. Sometimes that's just the way that people enjoy comedy. They want to say something. Bombing. Okay, this has happened to me. It's happening to me now a little bit. But bombing, okay, comedy's hard, all right? It's freaking hard. It's the hardest thing you possibly do. Steve Martin has a really good quote. He says, you know, to make it a comedy, you just have to be so good that no one can ignore you. And I think that's true. Next slide here. Comedy is an art. Comedy is actually a beautiful thing. When it's executed well, it's like magic. You don't even realize that you think it's just a conversation, really, is what's going on. And you can actually learn a lot about yourself, and it's good for free speech. Speaking of free speech, Lenny Bruce, 1961, he's arrested by the San Francisco Police Department for his standard routine because he said cocksucker. In his trial, his joke was read off by the clerk in court, and the clerk basically just did his material, but he was reading it to a jury. And Lenny Bruce later said that he had all the right material, but his timing sucked.